One night, Mount Rainier glowed a deep, eerie red. Its icy slopes lit like fire beneath the dark sky. To many, it looked like the mountain was alive again.
It may be hard to believe, but it was 40 years ago tomorrow that the biggest of big bangs rocked the Pacific Northwest.
One night, while the Pacific Northwest lay quiet beneath the dark sky, Mount Rainier shone with an eerie, impossible red, or its glaciers, cliffs, and ridges caught in a light that seemed to set the entire mountain aflame. Cameras pointed skyward, hikers stood speechless along frozen lakeshores, and satellites traced sweeping ribbons of color across the upper atmosphere. To some, it looked like Rainier was burning from within. To others, it felt like a signal, a whisper rising from the ancient stone. But the truth was stranger and far more revealing. What do we make of a mountain that suddenly looks alive? A powerful auroral storm had swept over the region, lacing the sky with deep crimson bands that washed across the Cascades with a brilliance not seen in decades. Meteor trails carved luminous scars overhead, and the cold air, crystal clear and still, amplified every reflected hue. The result was a spectacle that made Rainier look less like a mountain and more like a beacon, a towering sentinel lit from crown to base in shifting shades of red and violet. The image spread instantly. People across Washington felt a flicker of awe and something else, unease. Because Rainier is not just scenery, it is a volcano, a sleeping one with a past written in ash, fire, and flood. So the question that followed was unavoidable. If a mountain can glow like that, even for a moment, what else might be happening beneath the ice we cannot see? Chapter 1. Rainier's Red Glow Phenomenon. If disaster has a prelude, it's often silent, unfolding not on solid ground, but in the charged void above our heads. Just hours before Rainier's crimson spectacle, space weather forecasters watched as the solar wind began to churn. The signs were there for those who knew how to look. The sun, now surging towards its next solar maximum in 2025, had ejected powerful coronal mass ejections, CMEs, in late May. Operators watched as the forecasted G4 solar storm, already powerful enough to disrupt satellites, was recalibrated to a G5 emergency, the highest on the space weather scale. Serious. Within minutes, alerts flashed. Planetary K-index at KP9, the maximum. What does that mean? KP9 is the red line threshold, a warning shouted in numbers rather than words. Under a G5 geomagnetic storm, auroras are no longer confined to the poles. They rush towards the equator, painting skies at latitudes usually untouched by such displays. Places like Paradise, Washington. By the time Rainier's glaciers caught the light, the North American power grid was bracing for potential disturbances. Communications trembled, spacecraft sensors strained, but to anyone camped beneath the mountain, it was all eerily silent, save for the whir of camera shutters and the distant humming wind. As midnight turned, the sky above Reflection Lake filled with ribbons and curtains of energy. Electromagnetic ghosts unleashed by solar fury millions of miles away. It felt less like weather than an omen, a warning beacon loud enough to pierce even the hearts of mountains. But was this all just the auroras doing? Or did the mountain itself awaken to the storm, responding with more than mere reflection? What hidden connections link sunstorms, skies, and the ancient core of Mount Rainier? Chapter 2. Why the Sky Turned Red. Hydrogen Alpha explained. To really see what was happening at Rainier, you had to look deeper than clouds, deeper than even the aurora. What electrified the scientific community and confounded night sky photographers the world over was the breathtaking quality of the red. It wasn't just any red, but a tone known to astronomers as hydrogen alpha, or H-alpha light. A spectral line at 656 nanometers, emitted when hydrogen atoms are energized by sudden, extraordinary energy. Hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, present in every star and every breath on Earth. But under ordinary circumstances, you never see this pure planetary red. Only when the upper atmosphere is bombarded by torrents of high-energy particles, the direct fallout from a sun raging with solar fury, do the hydrogen atoms of our planet's upper atmosphere come alive. Their electrons leap to excited states, then fall, shivering, back toward equilibrium, releasing their energy in a burst of red that stains the sky from horizon to horizon. Photographers at Reflection Lake described it as a silent fire, a quality of light that seemed to seep from the mountain's bones, rather than dance like ephemeral aurora. For one brief moment, Rainier appeared to bleed, not molten rock, but the raw color of hydrogen, as if its core had broken free and swept upward toward the stars. Meteorologists confirmed this was not sunset or wildfire or distant city lights, but the signature of solar maximum. The great engine of the sun had reached across 93 million miles, torn open the magnetosphere, and painted the sky not green or purple as in typical northern lights, but with that most primal, warning glow. A reminder that even in the 21st century, we remain at the mercy of atoms and starlight, bound to cycles far older than ourselves. But when red aurora flames from the crown of a sleeping volcano, does it mean more than science can explain? Are these lights a message, or merely the result of nature's indifferent dance?
Chapter 3. Aurora over Rainier. Night of infinite skies. Not since childhood had Washington's skies belonged so completely to the night. The constellation of the Pleiades hovered softly above the dark ridgeline, their stars forming a scattered diadem brighter than anything city haze could erase. The Milky Way surged in a silver river, untarnished by urban glow this high above sea level. Paradise. Rainier's storied overlook, perched 5,400 feet above the lowlands. At the same instant, the aurora flared. A meteor slashed overhead in a burst of magnesium green. The flash might have gone unnoticed in any other month, but on June 2nd, it became part of the spectacle. Magnesium ions fusing their own emerald streak into the crimson bands, unfurling over the mountain. The meteor, snared in 1,000 photos, was made not only of stone and ice, but of stardust, burning bright enough to wake all who had waited for one impossible night. Reflection Lake became the stage for a convergence unseen in generations. Hydrogen alpha aurora blazing with unusual intensity, stardust falling like tiny omens, and Mount Rainier, Tahoma to the original peoples, looming in silhouette, both guardian and spectre. Its snowfields, normally blue-white, blushed red and pink, as if dyed by some polar sunrise that never comes to this latitude. Rangers and photographers, some so seasoned they'd witnessed dozens of auroras before, stood transfixed at the lake's edge. Silence reigned, broken only by the low click of camera rigs and the far-off sighs of wind. In that hush, Rainier's presence was overwhelming, the mountain both impossibly permanent and subtly transformed, gilded by a cosmic storm that weather forecasters and physicists could only describe after the fact. Some wondered if this was more than just chance. Old legends speak of the mountain's moods, of the way sky and land sometimes conspire to send portents to those who pay attention. Had the mountain called the aurora down, or had the cosmos merely painted it in a drama too vast for human meaning? When sky, earth, and the rolling silence of deep time unite under impossible light, what futures are written in the dark?
Chapter 4. Mount Rainier's hidden volcanic identity. Mount Rainier is more than just a mountain. For the Pacific Northwest, it is a paradox, an icon of beauty and a threat quietly brooding at the continent's edge. Rising over 2 miles above sea level, its glaciers feed rivers that sustain entire cities, and its flanks host forests older than the trails that wind between them. But Rainier is not content to sit for postcards alone. As one of the Cascade Range's storied stratovolcanoes, it holds within its core a history as tumultuous as it is spectacular. It has erupted before, it will erupt again. Under the calm veneer of its snow-wrapped summit, Magma chambers stir in tune with each tectonic flex of the subduction zone beneath it, the same geologic machinery that raised the Cascades from the Earth, and which, even with modern technology, cannot be tamed or ignored. Most nights, Rainier acts as a silent sentinel, its bulk hiding a chamber where liquid fire still sleeps. But on June 2nd, with the Aurora unleashed and meteors falling from on high, something timeless played out. The world's oldest energies converged around a volcano both revered and feared. During the storm, the speculation was inevitable. Was the glow a warning, a hint of volcanic stirring, or simply the sky's reflection of solar chaos? The answer, for scientists and storytellers alike, rested on the tension between two truths. Rainier is both symbol and sleeper, beautiful and dangerous, capable of dormancy and eruption. Park rangers, tending trails busy with night hikers and stargazers, heard more questions than answers. Could the red light mean an eruption was imminent? Were there spikes in volcanic gas or tremors before dawn? But the instruments showed nothing out of the ordinary. No seismic warnings, no unusual sulfur emissions. The volcano was, for now, as it had been. Yet the feeling lingered. When a volcano is washed in planetary red from summit to base, can we truly believe it's only the sky that's changing? Or does something deeper stir?
Chapter 5. Solar Maximum and Earth's Atmospheric Pulse. Why now? Why this furious swell of light, solar, spectral, at this moment in our lives? One answer is written in the celestial cycles. The sun moves through approximately 11-year cycles of activity. As astronomers had forecast, solar maximum arrived in 2025, and with it, some of the strongest solar storms in decades. Serious. Rainier's red aurora wasn't just a local curiosity, but part of a planetary drama. Across the globe, from Sweden to Siberia to Seattle, skies flamed as our planet's magnetic shield was battered by solar forces. As for deeper resonance, scientists continue to study the intersection of solar cycles and terrestrial events. There is no evidence that solar storms directly trigger volcanic eruptions. Correlations with minor seismic or atmospheric variations are noted from time to time, but do not establish causation. The distinction between coincidence and cause can blur. But for Rainier, the glow that night was entirely atmospheric, not volcanic. If the cosmos writes its patterns in fire and sky alike, it's also true that a mountain's heart is moved by forces far below our striving to measure them. Chapter 6. How people interpreted the Red Mountain event. Long before satellites and science, people observed Rainier's moods as matters of survival and story. To the local Coast Salish and Puyallup peoples, Tahoma was both home and legend, the mother of waters whose glaciers fed lowland rivers and whose peaks shaped the land's dreams. On a night like this, as blood-red auroras flamed overhead, what would the old stories say? Many would see a warning, others maybe a blessing. Some might view the red as a banner across the sky, a call to eagerness or caution, the sign of a brief opening between worlds. Today's watchers come equipped with electronics and social media. Mount Rainier gets even more beautiful after dark, read one viral post, the caption haunted by the event's magnitude. Over 7,000 likes, dozens of comments, and the sense that, for a single night, the boundary between myth and science had blurred. On this digital night, the park straddled past and present. Magnesium meteors, the Pleiades and Milky Way gathered overhead, and Rainier ablaze with a kind of unspoken prophecy. Tourists and professionals swapped stories in the shadows, debating whether the mountain was still asleep or on the edge of change. As dawn neared, a question circled above the lake. Do we truly understand the world around us? Or are we only beginning to grasp how awe and mystery dwell alongside measurement and reasoning? Are we witnesses, or simply observers in a story that began long before us and continues each time a mountain glows? Chapter 7. Reflection Lake, Mirror of Sky and Summit. Of all the places to witness such a spectacle, Reflection Lake may be the most fitting.
Not just a serene postcard, but a stage prepared for drama as old as the mountain itself. The northern lights have danced here before, usually as distant wisps, faintly visible above the trees. Not this time. With the solar storm raging at KP9, Reflection Lake became a mirror for the sky, the surface glassy and still, reflecting the breadth of crimson light from glacier to star. Observers huddled in the dark, describing the symmetry as almost too much to absorb. The lake mapped not only the sky, but the imagined heart of Rainier itself. The volcano, the silent peak, burning not with physical flame, but with a cosmic fire ignited far away on our sun. The scene reached a surreal harmony. The Milky Way arching above, doubled on the water. A meteor burning green, slicing through both air and mirror. The Pleiades clustered as if in council. And always, the overwhelming red glow. Not quite aurora, not volcanic, but a fusion no camera could fully capture. Some said the water seemed uneasy, as if reflecting more than sky, as if part of some ancient cycle. The lake was always intended to be a witness to such conjunctions. When the mountain sees its own red crown in the silent lake, are we seeing the world's inner heart, or just a fleeting glimpse before storms fade again? Chapter 8: Aftermath. Science versus meaning. When dawn broke, Rainier's slopes returned to their habitual blue-white. The aurora faded. Satellites that had watched the atmosphere's electromagnetic dance now recorded again a gentle quiet. Screens lit up, digital images. Did you see it? Messages and monitor screenshots circulated from Alaska to Oregon. In every picture, the same profound truth. The silhouette of the mountain under a weight of planetary light. Its flanks trembling not with eruption, but with an energy few had seen. NASA and the USGS analyzed their instruments, searching for signals of any volcanic effect. Hydrologists, glaciologists, and seismologists reviewed their data. The verdict, as sunlight returned, was comforting. Nothing unusual beneath the surface. The magma slept. The ground was unchanged, except for memory. And yet, the sense of unease lingered. The hydrogen alpha glow was, officially, the result of physics, energized atoms, atmospheric chemistry, and a powerful solar cycle. Yet across the Northwest, people who had witnessed the night spectacle felt they had experienced something rare and meaningful. Red remains a warning color. In human culture, in animal behavior, in the old stories of Tahoma. Even as science provided explanations, the question persisted. Was it a promise, a sign, or merely a show of cosmic indifference? When silence follows a planetary storm, is it merely equilibrium, or the pause before another message is sent from the sky? Chapter 9: The Long Dawn. What remains after the light fades. Washington awoke to a kind of collective awe and bewilderment. Reports continued to arrive. Pilots who skirted the fringe of the aurora. Electromagnetic readings at Paradise. Rangers and hikers recounting foxes slipping across snowfields, just barely pink with lingering sky glow. For a time, the conversation turned from science to practical concerns. What happens if Rainier's next message is not light, but something tangible, fire or ash? Would our systems, seismic networks, satellites, smartphone alerts, be enough to offer warning or merely fleeting advance notice? Communities near the park reviewed their own readiness. Rainier's true danger is always present. The ice cap poised over potential unrest. The rivers primed for change if the volcano stirs. The red aurora was a reminder that nature's cycles can defy our predictions, and the divide between celestial and earthly events remains as thin as a hydrogen atom's shell. In coffee shops, schools, and offices, debates played out. Just science. No, a sign. Yet all agreed. The world changed, however briefly, and the sight would not be forgotten. If one night's storm sparks such fear and wonder, what is our place in the universe that writes in light across the sky? When next the sun surges and Rainier's ice glows again, will we be ready to listen? Or will we, like those before us, simply stand in awe? There are nights when the world feels bigger than science and older than myth. On June 2nd, 2025, the sky, the sun, and a restless volcano converged to make one. Rainier stood, crowned not by lava, but by the cosmic energy set loose by the star that powers all life. And as the last images fade from our screens, one question pulses at the center of every memory. When the mountain glows, will we finally understand what it's trying to say? If stories like this stir something in you, stay curious. The world is alive with wonders and warnings written in light. The mountain endures, and sometimes, late at night, it waits for us to endure and listen too.